King today. I got the Whopper with some fries. Yeah, man. Wanted some fucking junk food. Had that urge, you know. That's one thing I've taught myself is that if I have an urge to eat something, don't deprive myself. Just do it. And if I do that, I'm not pigging out all the time on that kind of food. You know, it's just like if I have a freaking craving, go and do it. And maybe once every 2 weeks or once a week or when I'm hanging out with Iceman. Because he's such a horrible influence on me.
Big Merc 83.
Murky, Merkmaster, getting murked with it, man. Murkily speaking. What's up, Murky? So, I've been going crazy on the Twitch sphere, of course. You have been checking in with the Truthier.News. Jody, you haven't made a new Twitter. Listen, Jody, listen to me, okay? Scuttle your old Twitter account. Okay, you can't fix them. Go to gmail.com. Make yourself a new email, okay? Go to Twitter. Moo, buddy. Go to Twitter with your new email address and go make a new Twitter account completely from scratch, okay? And don't be abusive on Twitter, bro. Don't post links that are stupid. Don't, treat it with respect. Nobody sees your shit, Jody. And today you kept tweeting shit that I'm telling you, nobody is seeing your shit, bro. I'm trying to help you. You're not going to do anything with that account. It's beyond repair. I don't know if you understand that. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. I'm trying to help you. So, they copyright warned me.
Jody Melnick. Him sharing it on LinkedIn.
I don't know about LinkedIn, dude. I don't use LinkedIn, and I don't know if you really get any visibility on LinkedIn, because I don't use it. So, if you want to, that's great. Share it everywhere, man. Absolutely. But I'm telling you, make yourself a new Twitter account, bro, and you'll start people will start seeing you. Every time I make a new Twitter account, I'm very visible. I'm telling you, your shit is invisible right now, and you can't use that account anymore. And number two, you need to check the links that you're going to start sharing on your new Twitter account, or you're going to ruin that one too. You're sharing shit, and I've noticed nobody cares about all the shit you're tweeting. Nobody's interested in that. Try to tweet things that you think people want to know about, not just what interests you.
I have 2,000 business contacts on LinkedIn.
Yeah, do they interact with you though? That's good that you've got business contacts. Do they share your stuff? Do they talk to you? Do they interact with you? Do they send you money? Do they do anything for you at all? Do they patronize your channels or your content? Because I'm telling you, it looks like to me none of them could give a fuck about you on your Twitter feed, bro. Not a single one of them gives you a like or a retweet or a comment. You haven't started a community or anything like that.
Jody Melnick. Yes and yay and yes and yes.
Yeah, well, I don't see it on your Twitter. It doesn't reflect on your Twitter feed. So, you can ignore me, bro, and that's what you're going to do. I can tell already. You're just totally ignoring what I'm telling you. And you'll continue to go nowhere on Twitter thinking that people are going to suddenly start seeing you. Your account is tainted, bro. It's like it's poisoned the well. And once you do that, you can't just
Karen McDonald. Good morning.
Unfuck it, It's not it's beyond unfucking is what I'm trying to say. Brap, what's up? All right, cheers, everybody. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers.
Yeah.
California_fools. Wake and bake. Daniel Vogelbein. What up, laughing face? All good, smiley face. Dave C. Fishing. Cheers, I've been replaying the morning show.
Good, I hope you guys check out my short videos that I make too. I make clips. I share them on my Twitter feed. I shared a clip of me talking about Nancy Pelosi.
Ralph all day, cutting holes out of a new bumper for fog light.
You'll find it at on my Twitter feed at Truthier. I did share it, so 1-minute clip. Here it is.
So I wake up this morning and I come out, I know what's going on with Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan and putting the whole world at risk of nuclear war. Whether it happens or not,
Dave C.
it
Fishing.
doesn't matter.
The price
The
is
fact
wrong
that she
bit.
didn't
Oh, yeah.
consider
Yeah.
that was more important than whatever her personal reasons were for going to Taiwan.
Rap all day. Two chat hot with nose open. Enoch YUDs and 400
Nuclear
Torres.
war
Yo
with
mate,
a
what up,
nuclear
son?
enemy of the
California
United States.
underscore fools.
So she could
RLA
land
has a
stupid little
Nancy
plane over
Pelosi
Taiwan.
emoji.
I love RLA.
128
Really well with China right
Fedora.
now. And you know what that inspired China to do?
True that.
They went ahead and they started sanctioning Taiwan. They started sanctioning Taiwan immediately. This is what Nancy Pelosi's decision did for the world. And do you think that sanctions on Taiwan aren't going to affect us? Oh! How many things you flip over in your life and says "Made in Taiwan" on the bottom? This is what Nancy Pelosi just did to us. So I wake up this morning and I come out.
So there's the video that I made. I hope you guys like it. That's the clip. That's the clip from this morning. And you can see the morning shows are pretty hot, huh? Don't miss a morning show when I got my coffee. You gotta check in on those shows. Making a lot of sense. Danny Haifong agreed with me, 4 hours later on Twitter. And I went ahead and I said, yeah, I was talking about this before you were this morning, about 4 hours ago. And I said the exact same thing. I said she put the whole world at risk of nuclear war for her narcissism. He completely agreed with me, which is great. He's got, thousands of people following him on Twitter. Just so you guys understand, I'm making a lot of sense over here.
Nancy Pelosi also screws over Tesla and Amazon because China was building a plant for them here.
And you guys are able to go to my Twitter account, and you're able to go to my new Twitter account, which is at Truthier.News. And at Truthier.News, you can go to my tweets and replies, and you can find the tweets that I sent to Danny Haifong, and you can go retweet those and like them and comment and try to get people to see. No one will see them unless you guys go over there and do it. So I hope you guys will decide to go there. It's Truthier News at Twitter, Truthier News, Truthier News, all one word. And then if you want the website, which is great now, the website's done. You want to see the website? Check out the website. I got it right here, ready to go. Check out how cool the website looks. There's the website. Pretty professional looking, pretty cool, huh? Please follow us on YouTube and Twitter with the links above. Right here, these are the links. They're very small. I don't know if I can make those bigger in the editing software. But I totally want to. It's like I totally want to, but it's like I can't resize it because I don't know how to resize it. There's spacing, but there's margin. Oh, that's cool. We'll get rid of that margin. That was cool. But I can't make them any bigger. I can't grab the window. I can't resize it, which I think is stupid. But, it's like you should be able to grab the window and make it bigger. But this one just won't let you do it. So anyway, but, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. And we can get rid of that. And go here. Okay. Because China was building a plant for them here. California fools. California fool. California fools. And the skies are gray. And the skies are gray. California fools. California fools, and the skies are gray, and the skies are gray. California foolin', California fools, and the skies are gray, and the skies are gray.
In going to San Diego tomorrow.
California foolin', and the skies are gray. And the skies are gray. The skies are gray in California. It sucks. You gotta come to Florida for the blue skies. Everybody knows that. No, actually, when I moved to California, it was all overcast and shit. And I thought, God, what's up with the weather?
California_fools.
And then that all went away, and then it just became blue skies all the time and no rain. I watched that happen. I literally watched Northern California go into drought You know, I watched it happen. You could see it in the sky.
Dave Sea Fishing, the real Sunshine State.
You will no
Dave
longer
Sea
see
Fishing,
when your
Florida.
area is going into drought. You won't see clouds anymore. And that's the dead giveaway right there. There's no more moisture coming up out of the ground, and you know, to help form those clouds. It's scary, and it happened so fast while I was living there. It went from, you know, overcast, these rains, these long, week-long rains and shit, you know, that would last out there and wouldn't stop, and then craziness, right? Crazy Town. Welcome to Crazy Town. Here we are. We have arrived. We have arrived at Crazy Town. Please check your bags. Make sure you keep your hands and your possessions with you at all times during this ride. California foolin', California fool, and the skies are great. You know what's funny is when I sing that, I hear all the harmonies going on inside my head. It's fucked up. Wait, you know what? We're gonna do that. What are we even not gonna try to not do here? We're not gonna even do it. What are we not doing it? I do not know. What is this? That wedding crasher. Oh, you don't have no wedding crasher yet left anymore. You used up all your wedding crasher. I don't remember doing that, but I guess I did. There is a dab left. Yay. Yay. There's a dab left of wedding crasher. Okay. But anyway, what I was telling you about the copyright was they let me use the Bob Barker
Fried
theme.
Drive. Word.
Hey, Fried Drive. They let me use the Bob Barker theme, and they let me use the California, not California Dreaming, the what song was that? And it appears to be a long time, such a long time before the dawn. That song. They said that I'm allowed to use that song too. So like, we could totally play that song right now, you know, while we're getting high. And that song starts out so cool, doesn't it? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with that. Let's play that song. You know, it should be in my history. Dude, I got a picture of Garth. I got a picture of Garth playing the drums, bro, and I put that on Twitter. Did you guys see that? You guys got to check out. It's at Nays Garden on Twitter, my other channel. But you guys know who Feeney is. She is a great spokesperson for her movement. Man, they're amazing. I've seen her speak in public, and she's straight fire is the only way you can describe her. Everyone says that about her because it's true. She is straight fire. But she followed me on Twitter. It's simply the best. And I was just so excited. I found a picture of Garth because like that's how I felt. I was like, you know, when Garth is playing the drums, I was like, that's how I feel right now. So I went and I downloaded the picture and I put it on Twitter. I hope you guys find that and like it. This is what I'm saying right here. Let's get high. Yeah. Like you're on a boat going down a river in Vietnam, bro.
Hey, Nay.
Getting ready to go to war. Looking for tigers on the shore.
California_calls. Party on Wayne.
Oh. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth.
Dave Sea Fishing. Ha ha ha. Dave Sea Fishing. Makes me wanna smoke. Kevin Ball. Hashtag NLRC. Cheers, Nay. Hashtag OX Project.
Alright, here we go.
California_fools. I told RLA to get a flannel so she can look like Garth Paul Halloween back when she was a
I get
blonde.
flannel, right?
Radica 128 Rilladoraha.
Just gotta work on that smile too.
L-U-L-L-U-L-L-U-L.
It's a weird smile.
Mexi Williams.
That's it right there.
Hashtag cheers. Hashtag NLRC.
Cheers. Cheers, Cyber.
Billy Bong Thornton. What up, Nay?
Speak out. You got to speak out against the madness.
California_Fools. How do you play this music on stream?
I just pulled up the YouTube channel. I just pulled it up on YouTube. I tested this song this morning and they let me play it. This got copyright, but they allow it. Did you hear what he just said? He said, "Don't let yourself become elected."
California_Fools.
That's important.
It's not copyright. Billy Bong Thornton. I'm sitting at the courthouse, had to take my brother. Sitting around these bitch-ass pigs.
Oh, bitch-ass pigs.
California_Fools. Oh.
Listen to the line right here. Don't get yourself elected. So I don't know what he's saying right there, so we should probably look up those lyrics. Long time gone lyrics. Long time gone lyrics. It says, oh no, it's the wrong band. Fuck them. Wait. Okay. Don't try to get yourself elected. If you do, you'd better cut your hair.
Fuck that shit.
So,
Billy Bong Thornton.
you know,
On the bright side, there's some hot girls to look at while I'm waiting.
understand what that means. It doesn't mean cut your hair. What it means is you have to conform to how they think. And as soon as you become elected, you get bought. That's what that means. You sell out. It's not about your hairstyle. It's fucking genius. It's poetic. And it's just as meaningful today in 2022 as it was in the 60s when they wrote this. Late 60s, May 29th, 1969. Imagine that. Don't get yourself elected, because if you do, you're a fucking sellout. AOC, Squad, Nancy Pelosi, you fucking sellouts. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, sellouts. Donald Trump, fucking sellout. You remember what Donald Trump said he was going to do if he got elected? He said he was going to prosecute Hillary Clinton and put her in jail. What sort of investigation ensued at that point when Donald Trump became president? Sellout, right? He had her at his wedding. So everybody has to cut their fucking hair. And don't kid yourselves. I told that to Lee Camp. I said, dude, don't ever run for office. I told it to Jackson Hinkle. I was like, don't get elected. And it's funny because he already ran. He ran for office. And I'm glad he didn't get elected, man. Because as soon as you get elected, bro, you're selling out. It's an amazing song. And it's perfect for this podcast when you think about the lyrics, what he's saying. It's been a long time coming, and it's going to be a long time gone. Speak out. You got to speak out against the madness. You got to speak your mind if you dare. If you dare. But no, don't try to get yourself elected. If you do, you would better cut your hair. God, it rhymes too, but it's got so much fucking meaning. Politicians are sellouts, and once they get in, they don't represent you. In fact, I made a quote. I was like, we don't have
Billy
representatives.
Bob
We have
Thornton.
misrepresentatives.
They all turn corrupt when they get power.
And-
The United States dollar needs to collapse to nothing. This will end corruption if their money is useless.
I found this thing.
Cryptocurrency is the key.
I agree. I found this thing because I follow Unholy Room, and I hope you guys will all follow Unholy Room as well. On Twitter at Unholy Room with a 3 instead of an E. Somebody made it, or he made it. It was a quote that he had said, and it was put into this really cool quotation format. Really, really cool quotation format with a picture of him, and it had the quote there and quotes. Let's make it a quote. And I was like, all you got to do, if you want to do this, you can do it. You know, you just add it at make it a quote, and they make it a quote, and then you can go grab it. So, I'm a little confused right here. Is it? Wasn't it that one? Make it a quote. I mean, is that not the quote? Oh, make it a quote. There it is. So you gotta make it a quote, and you turn your stuff into a quote, and then you go to their tweets and replies, bro. And
Billy Bong Thornton.
Your quote.
Could you imagine if cryptocurrency was in use as primary money? We could see all their corrupt transactions.
But a lot of people use it, so you got to grab the screenshot, which is what I think I did. I think I grabbed the screenshot. I don't know, how's crypto doing today? We should check into that too. I made that quote. I just can't find it because I'm on the wrong profile. Here we go. Nays Garden. No, I can't find it. Here it is. Cool, I found it. Here, check this shit out. It made this thing for me. We don't have representatives, we have misrepresentatives. It totally formatted that and everything. It even put the representatives and the misrepresentatives into bold. I did not do that. What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool. Then it makes those quotes like that. You guys could do that too. It'll take your profile picture. It'll put it right up there. It's at make it a quote. Like if you said something cool on. I showed my mom. She was like, "That's really cool." She's like, "That's like a really nice picture of you too." I was like, "Thanks, thanks, Mom." So yeah, at make it a quote. They are really cool, bro. That is a cool thing, bro.
Billy Bong Thornton. Is that your main picture now?
It is. It's been my main picture for quite some time over there at Nays Garden on Twitter. But I changed the background. Now it says Truthier.News behind me on the background. I like that. So people figure it out, you know. They'll be like, oh, it is that dude. Dude, I hope Afeni sees that. If you guys, it's my pinned tweet at Nays Garden. If you could send that to her. It's Redis Ari. I would love it. You guys want to see a video of her speaking? She's pretty inspiring, bro.
physical body, but today especially, I know she's omnipresent. As the Combahee River Collective would say, our politics comes from a shared belief that black femmes are inherently valuable. Throughout our history, gender nonconforming people were seen as the closest people to God because they had access to the same fluidity as the Spirit. Black women have been caretakers, thought leaders, innovators, and warriors. We have warriors in our bloodline like Queen Nanny, like Queen Mother Ya Asante Wa, like Queen Mother Amarines, who not only led armies in battle, but ruled over her kingdom in peace. Black women and gender nonconforming people have been standing at the intersection that oversees all oppression. And the key to our liberation has been passed down to us. The most profound and the most radical politics comes directly from our identity.
God damn.
And the revolution is in our bloodline.
Dude, do you know what? We gotta hear that song in the background while she's speaking, bro. Oh my God, dude. It's fucking perfect.
You and me, partner. Center of town, high noon. Nope, Daisy.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude.
Fried Drive.
Here we go.
That made no sense. She not only
First,
lead
I'd like to
armies
honor
into
my best
battle,
friend
but
Gia,
ruled her
who
kingdom in
left her
peace.
physical body, but today
Huh?
especially, I know she's omnipresent. As the Combahee River Collective would say, our politics comes from a shared belief that black femmes are inherently valuable. Throughout our history, gender nonconforming people were seen as the closest people to God because they had access to the same fluidity as the Spirit. Black women have been caretakers, thought leaders, innovators, and warriors. We have warriors in our bloodline like Queen Nanny, like Queen Mother Ya Asante Wa, like Queen Mother Amarines, who not only led armies in battle, but ruled over her kingdom in peace. Black women and gender nonconforming people have been standing at the intersection that oversees all oppression. And the key to our liberation has been passed down to us. The most profound and the most radical politics comes directly from our identity. And the revolution is in our bloodline. We are just the vessels that are continuing the work of our revolutionary mothers. When they try to silence us, we lead movements. They try to devalue us, and then we become the most educated demographic in America.
Cheers.
They tried to kill us, and we have found ways to thrive, and that only black femmes can. Abolition is creative. It's about building, it's about love, it's about compassion, it's about community. And there's no one on this earth that has more vision than the mothers and creators of all civilization. Thank y'all so much.
Such a long, long time before the dawn. Speak out, you got to speak out against the madness. You got to speak your mind if you dare. Don't try to get yourself elected. If you do, you had better cut your hair. And it appears to be headlong.
Better cut your hair. Afeni, you better get ready to cut your hair if you're going to get elected. Don't do it. That big, gorgeous fro. Yas Queen. Yas Queen. Yas Queen. If you guys haven't been watching, Broad City. You're depriving yourselves. I'm just saying. Don't deprive yourselves. You know?
Billy Bong Thornton. Josh G. Harl's on lookout.
Harl's is acting like you might be a little hungry, but did you eat all your food, buddy?
Billy Bong Thornton. Testing, testing.
It's not reading out the icon names. That's interesting, huh? It usually does. I might have that turned. Is that a... Let's turn that on. Let's see what we can do here. Here, try again, Billy Bung. And it appears to be a long time. Such a long time before
Exolotl TLALIC XTC. Thoughts on monkeypox? Question mark.
I'm not allowed to give medical
Billy Bong
opinion.
Thornton. Pig A, pig A, pig, pig. There's a pig A right next to me. Turning volume up, ha ha ha.
Well, Billy Bong, you're like really stupid, aren't you?
Billy Bong Thornton. Testing, testing, pig, pig face, pig nose.
There you go. There you go. Did you like that? Billy Bong, you're like really stupid. I want to go back and watch that. I got you good on that one, son.
Billy Bong Thornton. Lol freedom of speech bitches. Fried drive. Monkey cocks. Billy Bong Thornton. He heard me. Exolotl TLALIC XTC. Not asking for medical advice. I am asking for your truthier opinion.
Yes, and I'm not. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow me to give medical opinion at all. I'm not allowed to. YouTube will. I'm not allowed to. It's against the rules on YouTube, bro. So I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not allowed to talk about stuff like that. Next subject, completely different than that one. Go ahead. There's a million other things we can talk about. That won't jeopardize my channels on YouTube.
Billy Bong Thornton. Pig pig face pig face pig nose ball pig face pig nose ball pig face pig nose. Exolotl TLALIC XTC. Thoughts on YouTube?
Oh, YouTube's something we can talk about. Now, as far as those pigs things, I actually tried to read along with all that. I kind of got lost at the last couple of pigs there, but I actually read along. I read along. Hey. Don't do that. Don't do it. Hey. Don't do it.
My evil laugh. Good afternoon, Nay.
So I can clear the cat out of here. I got this fan.
Exolotl TLALIC XTC.
But it's
ironic.
Not cool.
Can shit smack YouTube but not the other thing? Question mark exclamation mark. Lol.
Right, this thing is loud. I love it, man. It's so nice and loud and clear. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let's see. Is it gonna be? Which one is it? Is it this one? That'll turn that voice down. Restream to
Fried drive. Yeah, even if you tell someone to drink water for dehydration, it's against terms.
I found it. I found the volume. It's called Google Chrome. That's the volume knob for it. Okay. We're good here. We got this, man. Let's go. We're going in. We got the side cam here. got this going on, son. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. Here, I'm gonna light it from this side, man. I'm totally gonna do it from the other side. Who dat? Who this? Who was this? Cyber?
Yeah, I said cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Sean aka Trendy Orca. Sup nay.
That was good. That was a good bong rip. So, what else is going on? I was gonna go over some of the news stuff, but I really kind of cover that now all through videos. The next thing we're going to be talking about is BlackRock. I think that's kind of important. You guys don't understand who they are or what they're about. I would love to explain to you what's going on with them. There's a really good documentary about BlackRock that we can watch, and that'll just give you guys just like the whole rundown. I don't think I was watching it, so look, let me just... There's a 70. Oh, here it is. I found it. This one is 15.
Bitcoin has the power to destroy nation states. Some nation states like China have already come to that conclusion.
What's gaining traction?
This is a company most people have never heard of, and this company quite literally owns the world. Most US banks are controlled by BlackRock. BlackRock owns all the major pharmaceutical companies. BlackRock owns most of the mainstream media, and BlackRock oversees roughly 10% of all stocks traded worldwide. And this company is now taking over governments. All of this has allowed BlackRock to amass $10 trillion in assets. Yes, trillion. BlackRock is worth half of America's total GDP. It's so crazy that the US and Chinese government now rely on BlackRock to escape recessions, with BlackRock's founder and CEO now sitting on the boards of the influential Council on Foreign Relations and the World Economic Forum. In the words of Henry Kissinger, whoever controls the money controls the world, and no other company in history has had this much global influence. And what's even crazier is that BlackRock did this in just 34 years. But you want to know the best part? You've probably never heard of them for a reason which will become clearer later on, because after you watch this video, you will soon understand the real-world consequences of BlackRock's vast control.
Full-scale invasion, the likes of which we haven't seen since World War II, of Russia into Ukraine.
And those high gas prices mean the cost of everything that needs to be transported is on the rise.
So then how could BlackRock gain so much influence over the world? How could BlackRock go from being just a boring investment firm to the most powerful company that has ever existed? Well, to start, we have to delve into the past of how Larry Fink made BlackRock. Larry was born into a wealthy Los Angeles family in 1952, and from the start, he was always hungry for power, with his early years spent pursuing a career in politics, where he would gain a BA in political science from UCLA. However, he soon enough realized that politics isn't where the real power is, money is. Following this, he changed his focus early on to go into banking and real estate. And while at college, Fink was immersing himself in the world of the rich and powerful, having been a full-time member of the secretive Kappa Beta Phi, a group that's members included Michael Bloomberg and the Goldman Sachs chairmen. Fink took full advantage of these connections and started a career in the mortgage bond department at First Boston, a boring New York-based investment bank. This was where Larry would make his mark on the financial world, because over his time at First Boston, Fink became one of the highest earning employees, generating over $1 billion. He was unstoppable and it seemed like he was going to be crowned CEO. Larry became an expert in these little understood investments during his time. However, this success didn't come without a price. He wasn't going to make this money for someone other than him, and so he began creating a ticking time bomb, and only he knew how to defuse it. So in 1986, his risky practices and ambition caught up to him. After a few too many risky trades, Larry made a huge blunder. He lost $100 million of this bank's money in just the space of months. All the goodwill and reputation he had gained was crumbling into dust, leading to him being banished from First Boston. It seemed like world domination was just a silly fantasy, that he would never make it to the top. However, Fink wasn't giving up his power this easily. Instead, he would use this disaster to his advantage, vowing to make risk management and avoidance his main focus from now on. And so after becoming unemployed at age 36, Fink would team up with some of his old connections from Kappa Beta Phi.
You guys, I'm not getting shut down on my YouTube channels, am I? Are all the YouTube channels still healthy, guys? Let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know really quick, please, in the chat.
I still see it on YouTube.
Okay. Thank you, Cyber. I'm hoping to see all these other people. Nobody's chatting. Oh,
Sean,
Sean.
aka Trendy Orca. I hear you.
Okay, cool. You're on one of the channels.
Josh G.
We're good?
Seems fine.
Good, good.
We're good.
Good. You guys keep
Big
watching
Mac
this.
83.
This is
On
very,
game.
very important. Okay, so check this out.
And in 1988, BlackRock was formed. In no time at all, Larry was making bank. In just 5 years, BlackRock went from being worth $5 million to over $8 billion. However, it wasn't
Sean,
all smooth
aka
sailing.
Trendy
During this
Orca.
time, a power
Sounds
struggle would
good
emerge
watching the
between
dog.
who would control BlackRock's future, because Fink wanted a bigger piece of the pie. He didn't want to share his plans for world domination. So in 1995, he would pressure one of the co-founders, Schwartzman, to sell their stake in BlackRock for $250 million. A stake that would now be worth over $12 billion alone. But after these power games, Larry Fink's path to world domination was unstoppable. Larry Fink became more and more powerful over the next decade, but this still wasn't enough for his ambition. Now earlier on, I mentioned a ticking time bomb that Fink helped create in his early days at First Boston. Well, this time bomb was now ready to explode, and in 2008, the worst financial crash since the Great Depression struck the world.
Traders say this is the craziest day they have ever seen in these markets. Veteran traders saying they've never seen anything like it. The movement in oil prices so fast.
The most serious recession in decades.
Sean, aka
And that means
Trendy
life,
Orca.
as most
Damn,
Americans
this
know
guy
it, is
they're
about to
talking
change.
about is evil.
And the best part is, this was all under Larry's control. Larry Fink's mortgage-backed securities had been the fuse all along. And because Larry Fink knew the 2008 crash would happen, BlackRock's focus on asset management sealed them from the crisis. In fact, this disaster was an opportunity for Larry Fink, because Larry was the only man on Wall Street who could fix this crisis. And so with Larry's personal connections with the Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, BlackRock secured an uncontested contract to manage the assets of multiple banks that crumbled during the crisis, exploiting this disaster to become the most powerful man on Wall Street. But still, this was only Wall Street. This still wasn't close to world domination. So how could Larry Fink control governments and the world economy? Well, BlackRock made another breakthrough by offering ETFs. Now, this might sound quite technical, but ETFs are a type of investment fund that puts money into all the companies in a certain industry. And these new investment funds proved wildly popular because of the stability and solid returns. And unsurprisingly, BlackRock became the largest player in this new market, reaching the top of its industry, sucking up money from everywhere using its new money management platform. From the biggest banks to the smallest retirement funds, BlackRock had a hand in it all. BlackRock was starting to control everything. They bought stakes in pretty much every major corporation on the stock market. I mean, if you look into who owns pretty much any major company, you're almost guaranteed to find BlackRock's name.
Here it
Larry could
comes.
also see the power technology would have in the future economy,
Here
which
it
is
comes.
why BlackRock poured masses of wealth to build a supercomputer that analyzes what investments will make money. This program, named Aladdin, would go on to manage over $20 trillion worth of assets for BlackRock. For context, $20 trillion is more than the entire United States' GDP. BlackRock would then use this money and its assets to further exert their control over the economy, and now they are inextricably tied to governments.
through the media.
And like 2008, the Federal Reserve hired BlackRock to manage their investments to protect them from coronavirus-led recessions. And BlackRock has used this dependence to grow their empire even further, allowing Larry Fink to be a billionaire oligarch that holds unprecedented power over not just the economy, but the entire world. He controls trends, culture, foreign policy, and the banks. He has world leaders at his beck and call, with BlackRock overseeing assets worth 10% of the world's global economy. BlackRock now owns stakes in every industry, from media companies, banks, oil companies, and weapon manufacturers. And in recent years, the consequences are becoming dire as Larry Fink begins to exert his control over the world. But before we continue, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Masterworks. Masterworks lets you diversify with an asset class millionaires and billionaires use to safeguard their riches. One of the ways BlackRock controls the world so well is through its control of the media. Together with Vanguard, an investment company they also partly own, BlackRock now controls 18% of Fox, 16% of CBS, 13% of Comcast, who themselves own NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, and Sky, and they even own 12% of Disney. This is very important because it means that for any of these companies to decide on company policy, they must now also consult with BlackRock before.
If you had a choice, would you rather pay $12 for this cheese grater on Amazon or pay less than $2 on
doing so? And it's just the same with big tech. BlackRock is now the biggest institutional investor in Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, and so many more. I mean, the list of their investments in companies is just endless. And by extending its reach in such a dramatic way, BlackRock now has control over more than 90% of the media, which might also be why you've never heard of them. Because controlling the media is a very important step for BlackRock to take over the world. If ever
BlackRock owns more than 90% of the media. So if you want to know who that is whispering in, in my specific case, my mom's ear, it's BlackRock.
Pride Drive. BlackRock, racist.
Knew the consequences of BlackRock owning over $9.5 trillion in assets, some questions might start to be raised. And you see, BlackRock's control isn't just extending through information in the media, but also through the entire world's economic and political data. And as I mentioned before, this is all done through Aladdin, where Aladdin accurately predicts the outcome of every single investment. But the question is, where does Aladdin get this information from? Well, that's where things become very jarring. You see, because of BlackRock's ownership of banks, insurance companies, social media giants, and even pension funds, Aladdin now possesses huge amounts of personal data on everyone who has ever knowingly or unknowingly given BlackRock money. And with such a powerful tool under their arsenal, everyone now wants a piece of the pie. And by controlling this much data, BlackRock now controls governments, because BlackRock can use this data to sway companies and even government decisions. For example, BlackRock successfully lobbied to get a contract to manage the EU's regulation of banks. However, this backroom deal is now being investigated as BlackRock themselves own the banks they should be regulating. And this is just one of the many examples of these sorts of actions. A 2016 study in the Journal of Finance documented that investment companies like BlackRock show, quote, widespread behind-the-scenes intervention in the companies that they own stakes in. And this problem only gets worse as BlackRock owns stakes in nearly all major publicly traded companies. And now with our current recession, BlackRock is buying as much homes and real estate as possible, causing regular house prices to skyrocket. BlackRock profits when a society doesn't own their homes but rents, because BlackRock can squeeze even more money out of the economy through mortgaging off these artificially inflated homes. But this whole situation becomes even more sinister when you realize BlackRock's power is now being compromised by other actors. For example, in August 2020, BlackRock became the first foreign company to be allowed access into China's mutual fund industry. This means that BlackRock can now invest and own parts of Chinese companies. God only knows what BlackRock promised Xi Jinping if they're allowed in. But by being allowed in, BlackRock now works with companies that are blacklisted by the US. One example is BlackRock's investment in a CCP-owned company called Hikvision. Hikvision makes security and communications technology for both civilian and military use by the Chinese government. And they're also known for their wide-scale human rights abuses.
How do you think your facial recognition technology will change China?
Everything happened in the public can be recorded.
Now, this money being invested into China isn't just BlackRock's own money. Most of this money comes from the pension funds and bank accounts that ordinary people pay into BlackRock inadvertently. Through BlackRock controlling banks, people have no choice about whether they give BlackRock and the CCP this money. That's if they even know about BlackRock. This recent trend of BlackRock funding authoritarian regimes can only mean bad things for Western democracy, because this empowers regimes like China and Russia. It gives credence to dystopian regimes. And this trend is now promoting others to do the same. I mean, BlackRock recently recommended that their investors triple their investments in China. This would place billions more into a dystopian regime at the expense of the West. And the worst part is that China sees the companies that operate within it as simply extensions of the one-party state. They own these companies, and in return, the companies act out the CCP's will, which is a worrying fact when you consider that BlackRock owns the entire world's data. TikTok's data harvesting is nothing compared to BlackRock's. BlackRock knows the entire world's bank details, their preferences, tastes. It sets social trends, it oversees entire countries. So any increase in Chinese investments will see not just BlackRock's influence grow, but also China's influence grow in BlackRock. Since August of 2020, when BlackRock were first allowed into the Chinese economy, they have only poured more and more money into these Chinese companies. Clearly, Aladdin the supercomputer sees this as a profitable move, but what it might not see is the destruction of Western values. It might not see how the CCP could influence the world economy and global politics even more than it already is. It might not see that BlackRock's huge investments will be the catalyst towards this change. I mean, who knows how much more BlackRock will invest in China? But if their growth over the past year is a sign of anything, China will inevitably become a much bigger part of BlackRock's future. And make no mistake, this will have dire consequences. But the cherry on top of all of this is that BlackRock is the main force behind the sheepish woke lecturing that tells you how guilty you should feel. In 2018, around the dawn of the new generation of political correctness, Larry wrote a letter telling all the companies under his thumb to, quote, contribute to society or risk losing our support, adding that, quote, society is demanding that companies, both public and private, serve a social purpose. Which is a very interesting statement coming from a company that is quite literally funding the persecution of weaker Muslims and the imprisonment of the Chinese population. A company that is funding a dystopic nuclear regime that is quite literally threatening the very fabric of Western civilization. And so with BlackRock's push for, quote, social purposes, companies now have an ESG score, or in other words, sustainable investing scores, where you have a rating system based on your company's political and social facades. So for example, doing a woke ad for a company like Nike, or silencing any controversial political views on social media will help you get the high ESG score.
They will, on their investor relations page, they'll show you their ESG score. ESG stands for environmental, social, corporate governance. And this is where the woke culture comes from. So they've created this kind of phony baloney rating system that says, well, if you, I'm exaggerating, but if you mention that you are, have a green agenda and you believe in carbon credits and you might trade some credits somewhere, then you get a higher score and therefore you're more investable. And it's very interesting to see how big investors like insurance company, institutional investors, they are steering away from anything that does not have the right ESG rating.
And if the past tells us anything, it seems like BlackRock is only destined to control more and more of our daily lives. Through Larry Fink's close ties with government leaders around the world, with his huge influence over the World Economic Forum, and his position on the boards of the Council on Foreign Relations, BlackRock is only destined to metastasize. So perhaps BlackRock defines the new era of our globalized world, where ruthless, predatory corporations amass more power than countries, where our politics and society isn't dictated by votes, it's dictated by investment boards controlled by BlackRock, delivering us a more generic, mindless, vapid, and vicious culture. Perhaps BlackRock is just a monument to a world divided between too big to fail companies and powerless, moneyless, and joyless citizens, where companies like BlackRock buy up all our houses, inflating our currencies and profit from our conflicts and turmoil. That's why you can't buy a house. That's why we're more divided than ever. That's why too big to fail companies are defining life in the 2020s. Because we no longer live under free market capitalism, we live under a system for socialism for the rich.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging in there. It was important. You guys need to learn about them. So I'll withhold my commentary until the next show because everybody left. So those of you that stayed, thank you. I love you guys. And I will see you guys on the next show. All right. Take care. Bye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it was almost an hour. It was almost an hour. It's cool.